Are you available for shaking? Not to the devil. I'm not talking about him. I'm not even talking about what he does. I'm talking about these places where Jesus, in the midst of life, he's shaking the things that you're holding to that belong to the enemy. Let me put it that way. Now, are you willing to let go of those things? Are you willing to let go of those strongholds? Are you willing to let go of those things? If it belongs to Satan, Satan can shake it. And if you're holding on to it, then if it's shook, if Satan's world is being shook. His world is about to get really shook. And the Lord is shaking us loose from those constructs that we've built in our life, that we've allowed life or others or pain or trauma, satanic messages in our soul, lies we've believed. You're abandoned, you're rejected, you're not loved, you're not enough. Those lies have built a framework that we have to maneuver to have peace. We have to maneuver people to try to find some false peace. But Jesus says, think about when he said this to the disciples, what was going on when he said, my peace I leave with you. Not a peace the world can give, but my peace I give you. They were about to see him die on the cross, and they really hadn't been listening to him tell them what was coming. So it was a real shock. But he had already said, my peace I leave with you. And their world was shaken, and he gave them the word. But what did he do? He said, I'm coming back with the answers. You're going to be okay, Peter. I'm coming back. You're going to strengthen the brethren, Peter. And he was speaking life to these guys. And you know, whether they were martyred or whether they were like John and just lived on and ended up in exile to receive the vision of Revelation, to receive that truth, and whatever scope in between, he gave them what they needed. And they had led such a life with him that, like Paul said, to lay down my life, to pick it up, I don't know, I'd rather lay it down and go on, but it's better for you if I stay. That's the kind of argument. That's the realm of the framework of his thinking. He wasn't worried about losing anything. He died, came back to life, died, came back to life. I mean, he led a life of shipwreck and all these things for the purpose of the kingdom. And you know what? Because he led his life for the purpose of the kingdom, he saw miracle after miracle. But even when Paul first met God, first met Jesus himself on the road to Damascus, it was not pretty. It was a big moment of correction. But it started his journey when he said, Lord, he's just like, that's a short salvation prayer Paul prayed, Lord. And Jesus began to lead him where to go, where to find answers, where to grow, and then started his ministry. That was a pretty quick Bible school. But he met Jesus personally. And that's not more available to Paul than it is to you. And in Hebrews, he tells us these keys. We look away from the natural realm. We focus our attention and expectation onto Jesus, who birthed that faith, who continues to develop that faith by shepherding us, by leading us, by talking to us. Because his heart was so focused on the joy of knowing that you would be his, he endured the agony of the cross. He conquered its humiliation, and he sits at the right hand of the throne of God. So consider carefully how did Jesus face such intense opposition from sinners who oppose their own souls. These sinners, they're opposing their own answer by bringing Jesus down, and yet it set us all up to be completely free because of what Jesus did. He said, after all, you've not reached the point of sweating blood in your opposition to sin. And have you forgotten his encouraging word spoken to his children? What is that encouraging word that the Lord wants to speak to us today? What is this big encouraging word that he has that we need to understand that's going to change our perspective on everything? Don't underestimate the value of the discipline and training of the Lord God. We don't like it. We don't like to be disciplined. We don't like to be trained. But it says, don't get depressed when he has to correct you. Oh, we don't like correction. We don't like it when it comes from our parents. We don't like it when it comes from our spouse. We don't like it when it comes from our kid. We don't like it when it comes from the pastor. We don't like it when it comes from any direction. And because of that, our heart is so shut off. Unless we open it. It's not hard to open it. We open it by focusing on him for his leading and his shepherding. But we live our life so cut off from correction that when he speaks to us, we don't pay attention. There's a hardness in our heart towards being corrected, towards change.